Hello Tech Genius, I am Ravi. Have you ever imagined a place where learning is as dynamic as the technology shaping your world? Then here's a deal. With iMatix, you can make sure the learning is exciting, impactful right from the beginning. You have interactive sessions with expert-led courses. In the world of tech, from data science to cloud computing, it's not just about a session, it's about doing, building, learning by solving real problems. So let's get started. Welcome to my lecture. Welcome to my lecture. Welcome to my lecture. Send an approval to recruiter bot. If the position is something belonging to, let me show how we can actually play around this. Each business process will have different action. For closing position, we'll see what actions we have. Generate a document. This does not specify anything that we require. Probably what you can do is you can actually configure an approval. And generally positions will be taken care by recruiter. We'll see if recruiter will configure, and once position approval is configured to the same approval, if you wanted to do some kind of add, some kind of conditions. Generally, when we are creating a position, we'll be specifying hire date, eligibility, hire date. If that hire date is anything, you can specify the hire date is 1st of December, then it should get closed. Such kind of condition. If it is less than hire, less than 1st December, it should go for an approval. If it is greater than 1st December, it has to execute this condition kind of thing. You know that we can actually make that as a condition. Since this is sitting in position business object, this should work actually even higher. Is that hire date was there that was sitting in worker business object? which means that candidate will be becoming worker after higher step is completed. This should work for the positions. Before you actually test this one, you need to have a position that is created with the hire date after 1st December. Just make sure that you're checking the position. When you're creating position, when your closing position is nothing but the one that is already there in the system, you're closing right. That is the commission. What will this happen now? Tell me. What will this condition will do? If the hire date is greater than 1st December, the position will be closed by the recruiter. If you have any positions that are created after that are getting hired after 1st of December, and we're not trying to close those positions. And if the hire date of the position is greater than 1st December, it has to go for recruiter approval. If they're less than 1st December, you should not go for recruiter. Makes sense. But when you are testing the position related business process, you need to be having those certain positions with different high dates. You can create multiple positions with a different hire date. One is before December, one is after December, and try to close each of the day. When you close the one that is less than December, you shouldn't be seeing an approval. But when you're closing the position that is greater than December, first you should be seeing approval routing to recruiter. Recruiter might be anyone in the system. We can see who are the recruiters. If security is not configured properly, also you'll not see the business process going further. It will not understand where to go if security is not configured properly. We have your recruiters. These are the recruiters. It will be going to these guys once you actually take an action on that one. Like that, you can create multiple scenarios. You have something related to move workers also. We're not trying to move workers. When you're trying to move workers from one supervisor or other supervisor organization, I've given a kind of step here. You can ask certain conditions. If employee is from his position is this one, or employee management level is this one, they should not go for an approval or should go for an approval. Such kind of things you can actually handle when your business process step is configured for an approach. It's not only for an approval. Since we have here approval step for this one, we are taking this one, but there are multiple actions for each business process. Based on that, you can actually see how you can actually execute the condition added business process. Let's say for this one we might have multiple other actions also. You can see these are, one is change our assignments. Change our assignments is nothing but changing the company cost center or not. When you're moving, this step will be triggered to change cost center and to change company. But if this step you don't want to trigger for certain employees, you can add that level of that kind of condition that if this group there's no change or assignment step triggers. You can actually add such kind of conditions that this step will not be executed for those team members. It will directly go for next step. That kind of the configuration that you can make when you're actually planning. The other example that I can say is, hi, I don't know. I tried multiple times. It is not working in this tenant, but I can show the real-time use case for a higher business process. Because I tried to show that only, but it was not populated. I might have used the business process hide for hiding me, right? I'm just trying to go to that business process and see if I can configure a few more steps. That is the one that I've used for hiring employees into this organization. Amit's organization. Now I can add multiple steps, but this has not worked. I tried multiple times. There is a tenant error that is actually triggering, but you can try. If you wanted to try with higher business process, you can try definitely. You'll be getting an error when you're hiring through a business process, but height is a mostly used business process. I can see here proposed compensation is there. Then after that approval, then stock, then after approval. We have configured. What you can do is to add one more step called one time. The question one time payment. The question one-time payment is nothing but anything related to sign-on bonus, joining bonus, retention bonus. Anything will be coming under one-time payment. Now, when employee is getting hired, you'll obviously make any kind of sign-on bonus or any kind of joining bonus, any kind of other kind of bonus. You'll be actually adding that one. Now, if this one-time bonus is not applicable for contractors but only applicable for full-time employees, we have missed the security group. Now, what is the step that we've added? We've added one-time payment, right? Now, if you want this one-time payment to be applicable only for certain employees who are full-time employees, when you're actually trying to take the fields, if here or in any other channel, you need to make sure the field is delivered. Field. You can see the name seems similar for all these names seem similar when I go into the options. This is a default one which will be as provided. Well, the delivered one, if you go to the other one, it is not a delivered, it's something right. We've created in this tenant with the calculated function. You should be aware of those things. Since we are hiring an employee, we can take time type of an employee full time. They should applicable one-time payment should be applicable only for full-time employees. And also you can add one more kind of condition. Employee for condition workers, they should not be applicable. This condition you can actually add into the hire business process. In that way, you can actually define your own. This one, whatever is referring rate, time type, and worker type for hire business process. This is mostly used use case in hire business process. This actually can add some points to your resume. Only the thing that has issue here is current has some kind of issue when I try to actually configure this through the business process and try to go for hiring an employee system is not annoying. There is a tenant level error we are getting. To bypass that, one complete hire step needs to be redesigned actually. But you can take this as a reference. When you're hiring an employee, you can try from your end Just try with the hire business process and see how it works. You would have created your supervisor organizations and hired an employee state. When you're hiring an employee, whatever business process that you have used, go to that business process. Edit that, add multiple steps, and for request, one-time payment, just add a condition. One-time type is full-time and worker type is employee. A request one-time payment step should trigger such kind of condition. If you add only when you see when you're hiring an employee, a full-time employee and employee whose worker type is, then your one-time payment, whatever you're attached in the business process step, right? That step will be triggered to the security group that you have assigned. Clear with these references, we'll be able to explore more. Any questions? Any questions you have? When you're actually doing practice, right? Try with higher business process also, see it works. If it is working, let me know. I tried before I thought of showing the business process. I tried to hide. It was not working for me, but try from your end. If it is working with your supervisor organization or anything that you're trying, just let me know. Might be, through the business. Suppose that organization that you have with the security group that you're configuring might make difference, but I'm not sure. Just try. If it is working, let me know. If it is not, just leave it. Just try with multiple options. We can actually, there are a lot of other business processes that are already created in the system. You can find those. Today we'll be discussing compensation. Even compensation has a certain business process. And probably when we are discussing on integration, we will be getting fewer business process steps. We can actually take that as a reference as well. If you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel.